So yeah, just to confirm, you are still doing the sober 2017 bullshit nonsense. Is that still in effect? Yeah, happening? Yeah, still?
Very, very accurate. Yep. I'm 11 days in. 12 days. It's 12th already.
It is the 12th.
I haven't had anything yet. Yet. I'm not gonna. It ain't gonna happen. But I am doing a review here. So Glass Armor found this stuff. Space Juice. Let's see if this will focus at all.
Space Juice.
Yeah, Star Wars Space Punch. It's got like a glare on there. It's got Kylo. Yep. There were different characters that you could get. I don't think there's a different flavor. They all said Space Punch. So I'm going to just dive into this and try to chug it in 10% juice and 20 calories. So it's supposed to be kind of like a good energy drink with like no sugar or anything. It's supposed to be all the vitamins, but nothing of the bad stuff.
Nice. Never seen that from Star Wars. That's cool.
Well, I remember a long time ago in a
galaxy far away,
in a city that you live in, we were talking to one of the followers that lives in Germany, and he was mentioning about like they have like the space tea, and they were kind of Star Wars space teas, and we remember, and he said they don't have them over here for whatever reason. But
that's right.
I was kind of wondering if this was kind of based off that or not.
Oh my god. What up, Deadpool?
So
I had some decent beer earlier when we were playing Battlefield. I was playing Battlefront, getting triggered, and then during our Patreon call that we just had, patreon.com/Rogue Squad Pod. If you want to have a private call where everybody shouts and Dane takes his shirt off, come and join us. So I had some good beer earlier, and our cousin left this shit behind yesterday. So I'm literally having Budweiser for the first time in I don't even know how long. Since I've had like a regular Miller or Bud. It's been a while. Gaze and be amazed at this sweatshirt. I love it.
Dakota was asking if I was wearing a G.I. Joe Cobra shirt. No, I'm not.
I got one of those same style, like those 90s sweaters. Not hoodies, because there's no hood. Just awkward sweaters where the arms are like, a foot long. The fabric is like way too big. Empire Strikes Back. I got it. Yeah, I got it.
I'd rather not.
All right,
Handfuls drinking some Miller Tall Boys. That does sound really good. You know what's weird is once December 1st hits, which is going to be a fucking belligerent day. So Mopar just lucked out that December 1st is a Friday, and my sister's coming in from Colorado the night before. So it's going to be fucking belligerent. She's never been out this way, so it's going to be fantastics.
Wonderful.
Okay. So this thing, it has Kylo Ren on it. It's a Space Punch, but it says sparkling vitamin drink. It says collector's edition number 15 Kylo Ren. It's honestly kind of a cool little can. It's like a Red Bull kind of size can, skinny and taller. It's 12 ounces. But when I smelled it, it smells like vitamins, like those chewy children's vitamins that are just that like smell weird, but you don't mind them when you're eating them.
Yep.
It smells like fucking vitamins. Smells like vitamins.
Mine smells like fermented sugar water.
Smells like.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of. I've never been a fan of Budweiser.
I used to like it back in the day. Like I said, I haven't had a cheap, general vanilla beer in a long time. Yeah. It's okay. It'll do the trick.
Are you going to actually give it a rating?
Let me think about it.
It's got to be a 1. I mean, it's something that's... All right, I forgot. I'm doing one too here.
Yeah, you got to do one too. Drink that. Drink those vitamins. Liquid vitamins. Vitamins. Oh, you're pissed. That was me last week drinking that expired cranberry bullshit.
So did you die?
I didn't die. I didn't get sick. I didn't feel bad at all. Nothing was wrong with it. So just like I researched Squad Potted before we drank it, beer doesn't go, bad where it's going to make you sick and it's like moldy. It was just gross. But I lived. So.
Oh, did you live?
I didn't live. I died. And I'm here as a Force Ghost with you now.
All right. Cool. Well, I am. So we got triggered because my feed was kind of fucking up, and I did a speed test like a few minutes ago, and it was down to like 4 megabytes per second.
What's
And
your
I
upload,
just
though?
redid it, and it's 120 now. So it must have just had a burp or something, or was updating or something. Back into the review that I'm actually doing. So the bad thing is it does taste. I look like I'm on Fear Factor. Oh, because I'm drinking space piss over here. Yeah, this tastes like vitamins up front, and then it kind of just smooths off right at the very end. Like it's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's supposed to be punch, but it tastes like drinking vitamins.
Pissed about it. I'm doing a speed test right now. Mine's 110 down and 12 up, so there ain't no problem.
I'm giving Glass Armor the smell test. She cringe face over here. She went like this. No, it tastes like vitamins. That's the bad thing.
Didn't you say she bought it for you?
Yeah, she found it. Yeah, because she was at a local grocery store or
That's
a
what
gas
you
station.
get. That's what you get, Glass Armor. Picking out some goddamn Kylo Ren monster.
Kylo Ren space piss. Yeah, this is definitely a. I don't want to give it a 0 because when you're talking about energy drinks and if you can't really take the high sugar ones, this might be an option.
Yeah.
But it's definitely doesn't taste good.
Mm-mm.
So I'm gonna get. I'll be blunt with it. It's 1.
Blunt with it.
There's nothing about this that tastes good, which is the issue.
That is a problem. Not gonna deny it. Yeah, I'm always iffy on how to rank cheap beer because the whole thing is that it's goddamn cheap, so it's not meant to be delicious. So are we using the same ranking style as the other ones?
I mean, go for what they're shooting for. It's supposed to be a very, very drinkable. It's supposed to be cheap. The can looks pretty cool. I've always honestly liked the can and the colors of Budweiser.
I agree.
I like the style of the text, the font that they use for the actual Budweiser, and then above it, it looks like. When did they change back to Budweiser? Actually, wasn't it America, Dick? Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucked, and it must not have been lasted for that long because people were pissed about it.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I thought I saw it not too long ago in a spot that they were still selling America. Old batches of shit.
The choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt. I don't believe you. I don't
False
believe
advertising.
you.
Let me see if they talk about anything on here.
It's a 1, man. This cheap beer, I know they make it with rice. It's just a little too sweet for some reason to make it more drinkable. So like we've talked about the Photon by Actual Brewing here in Columbus. Yeah. And Land-Grant just came out with a similar style, like light lager. It's with a local radio station. It's called 97.1 The Beer. But it tastes just like Photon. It's fucking awesome. So it's pretty much just, Miller Lite with real ingredients brewed by humans. And it's fucking awesome. That's what a lager is supposed to be. But these are just like, there's that hint of sweetness in there because they use, I think, shitty ingredients or cheap ingredients or both. I don't know. So I'm going to say 1 star. Just 1 star.
Now, I know you're a fan of Miller Lite. Would you give Miller Lite like a 2 at least?
Miller Lite is definitely better, but I feel the same way. It's got this weird sweetness. And I don't fucking know where it comes from.
And everybody knows that. I've always leaned towards Miller Lite, but I'm not really sure why. I think there was like an aftertaste in the Budweiser that I'd never really liked.
That's what it is. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm done with it. Fucking done with it. I'm drinking vitamins. You're drinking piss water. We're all happy about it. And actually, we're not.
It's piss water. You got that part right.
I got space water, space piss, and you got piss water.
Piss space.
Now, like Commander was mentioning, we did just get off of our
fuckery.
Our group call that we do every other week with our patrons. This one got outrageous because there was like 10 of us. So, but we do appreciate everyone logging on because it is always a good time. And the only thing I can really say is plant jizz. Let's just say that we got to a point where we were talking about plant jizz,
and naked shirts.
Just naked shirts. So that gives you an idea of what it gets belligerent. It's always a good time. So if you wanted to be a part of that, obviously you head on over to the Patreon page and support the podcast, and you guys will be able to join us. It's every other week.
Fuck yeah. Kerner's talking about PBR and shit like that. I actually did have a PBR last week, and it tasted like this. There's something in the cheap beer where it's just the aftertaste is just not right.
I don't know. I don't know about it, because I feel like Corona is still a cheap beer and it doesn't have that aftertaste.
Yeah.
I guess it is more of a
kind of
not a cheap beer, but whatever. All right. What do we want to dive into first? We've got the obvious new trilogy that's going to be coming out. Mopar is still pissed. And
as usual, let's save the good shit for last.
Save the good shit for last.
Let's talk about, you want to get triggered pissed about Thrawn quickly?
Yeah, we can. Because you know a bit of what I'm talking about. So I bought the Thrawn book on Audible, which, by the way, this is a genius thing that I do, which I'm just patting myself on the back because I'm a jackass. Whenever I want a book on Audible, I don't do the monthly fee. I'm done with that. Like, I tried it out for a couple months and I'm not a big fan of it. So instead, when I want a book on Audible, I pay the monthly fee. It's $15 a month. Buy and you get 1 credit when you do that. Use that 1 credit for the book I want, which is usually $30, and then I quit the fucking monthly fee. And I've been doing that like once every month.
So you're trying to fucking game the system, Mopar. You're cheating.
Well, not really, because
you're cheating
in the end, I'm paying
hardworking
$15 a month.
authors and voice actors and Star Wars writers out of their goddamn money, Mopar.
Took you a while.
You're stealing shit.
It's like how podcasts are free. Remember that?
Exactly.
So
exactly. You're trying to fucking balance the, what do you call it? Scales pendulum? Of justice. Yeah.
How do you balance a pendulum? It's just swinging. I'm hammered. All right. So the Thrawn book, like I said, on Audible. So I'm listening to it. I'm probably, let's just call it, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 hours in. I'm pretty far into it. But the voice actor, he's not bad, but he does these different accents. And there's like 3 particular people. One of them's Thrawn, actually. The voice he gives Thrawn, the way he says stuff and his voice are fine. It's how he says things. It's kind of weird. So this is what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Thrawn's voice sounds like something between a vampire and drunken Captain Jack Sparrow. Like he slurs his words ish like Jack Sparrow, but he's very calculated and talking like a fucking vampire. And somewhere in there, one pissed off. I don't mind it because that's how I pictured it, but it's kind of funny just hearing him talk because he uses his words and it all slurs together. And it's just,
so if Jack Sparrow were a vampire, we have Thrawn.
Yeah, and he just
if Jack Sparrow were a vampire in space, we have Thrawn.
Yeah, as long as he just blew himself.
Why do you make jokes from a show you don't like, you bastard?
It's terrible. I'm sorry. I even continued to try. I watched the whole first season again.
Not going there.
I can't.
Can't do it.
Not doing it.
Not doing it. I know what you mean, though.
The second one was his ensign. So there's a military guy who's like on the outer rim, from the outer rim in some unknown region or something, and he talks like a fucking jackass Cajun Alabama. Fuck, dude. I can't.
I started the book and he's in the first chapter, and I was like, no, I can't. I can't listen to that fucking shit in Star Wars, man. I can't do it.
I think there is a place for it, but it's just they threw so many new voices in, and they're all talking to each other all the time.
Yeah,
that it's just like I have to adjust my fucking brain every time someone new talks.
Exactly.
We're going to go out there in the outer systems. And then Thrawn's over here like, I'm fucking drunk. I'm like, I can't handle it right now.
It's like the fucking sand shrew guy from Pokemon. That's what he sounds like.
Yeah, it is kind of.
Hey, Admiral Thrawn, we're going to go down here and get those rebels. I'm telling you what, we're going to get them. We're going to do it.
Oh, yeah. I just fixed up the fort. We're going to go down the river and get them to
cleaned up that there Star Destroyer. We're going to do it.
All right, I've had enough of that. But the other thing that kind of pisses me off, it's kind of weird. So at the beginning of every chapter, or I think it's every chapter, Thrawn does this little like epilogue, prologue, little fucking like he's talking about something specific.
Yeah.
The sound behind him. So there's like a musical sound bit behind him. It fucking triggers me every time.
Like a drone or something.
It's like a drone organ.
Yeah.
It's just like, why? Where is he standing? Does he record this every Sunday in church?
He records it in Palpatine's chambers because you sound like you were singing the Emperor's theme right there. Yeah.
I have to find it because that's not even the right term. It's just weird. That doesn't actually trigger me. But it is different.
This one thing, it fucking triggers me. Let me talk about it. It doesn't actually trigger me. Let's move on.
I'm not pissed. I'm not pissed at that. I'm just pissed more at that. I have to go back and forth through my mind at who's talking because I can't trigger it. I can't Thrawn. And I'm just like,
yeah, I know what you mean. It's tough. I just started it, and I could only listen to like 2 chapters because I was sick of that motherfucker.
Yeah,
he's sick of him talking about like they were going to hunt crocodiles.
Yeah.
I'm listening to Star Wars, man.
So the other thing that I'm not mad at, but I wish there was a little more character building. First of all, Thrawn's a badass and everybody knows it. But he basically is so strategic and tactical that he breaks into this. Well, I think you were in 2 chapters?
Yeah.
Where it was Thrawn in there already and he broke in and kind of tricked the Empire into doing some shit that they didn't want and whatever. He was on this planet.
Keep going.
And he basically tricked this whole squadron. It was one guy. Obviously, it was just one. It was just him. And he basically tricked this whole squadron into doing these certain things because he wanted to do. And it was really tactical and it was fucking amazing. But he's almost too smart. There's no character building. It's just he knows all. And it kind of pisses me off because of there's no character building behind it. And he's like jumping through the Imperial ranks like no one ever has because he knows all. He knows where everybody's doing, where everybody's doing. Had enough of it.
Yeah, he knows where it's all. Yep.
So he's always 3 steps ahead of everybody, and it kind of pisses me off. I understand that's his character, but there was nothing like building to that point. But overall, it's a solid story. It's nice to see something that has nothing to fucking do with the Jedi, at least yet. I haven't really seen any Jedi. So the Emperor's in it for like a half second. He talks to Thrawn, and he obviously like knows. He's like, yeah, you're gonna be fucking one of my dudes now. There was a comment there or something. Please, he's not gonna be fucking one of my dudes. Critter,
you be one of my main motherfuckers. The Emperor said.
Quote Travis Dunn said, Thrawn, I drink and I know things. That's basically...
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's the gist of it.
So this is before the timeline of Rebels, I'm assuming. Yeah.
This is... Well, yeah. This is good. Yeah, because they found him. He's becoming an Imperial officer.
See, that's the part that annoys me. Like, I get that when we see him in Rebels for the first time, he's a fucking super genius. So the book is supposed to be like, how did he get to that point? So that when we find him in Rebels... he is perfectly awesome all the time, and we are okay with that because we know what his backstory is. So I was hoping it was going to be a little more of that.
Yeah, and it's the right off the bat, the first thing you hear, because it's from the point of the view of the Imperials, and there's just like shit going off. There's explosions, people are getting killed, but they don't know what's going on. So they go investigate it, and they find out other shit, and then he just shows up on the ship, and they finally like corner him, and they're like, who else is with you? And he's just like, it's just me. And then
with that accent.
Yeah, basically. And then they're all just like, well, that's fucking crazy. We need to show you to the Emperor because your fucking skills are ridiculous. And at this point, the Chiss, his species, was like a myth.
Yeah.
Like people didn't believe in Chiss. And the fact that he is like living up to a lot of the mythical stories about the Chiss, people are getting scared and don't really know how to take him. And yeah, so, and he's very, like as people are talking to him, they describe what he's feeling about that person. So it'll be like that ensign, like, we gotta go put air in the truck. And it'll go to the point of view of Thrawn. He'll be like, his lip twitches, his ears are large. He mummers slowly and his voice crackles.
He mummers.
But that's the kind of like he studies body language so much that he like knows beyond what you're saying. He mummers.
He mummers all your wildest dreams and wishes. Yeah, fuck that Cajun guy, dude. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't take it seriously. We're gonna get down, rebels, man. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it, dude. I couldn't do it.
It's a solid book. I'm excited to finish it because I think it's gonna end up. He's gonna be a lot more brutal than he has been up to the point where I'm at. He hasn't really done anything. Everything's been so strategic that he kind of just outthinks everybody, and he moves up through the system of the Imperials. But he hasn't been like brutal yet, and I'm like, waiting for that like switch to happen where he like sacrifices someone to like better himself or something. Because I feel like he's Tarkin 2.0. He's just smarter, better, and he's blue.
So I love Tarkin, obviously, but I was hearing somebody complain about the book. Kind of complain, but just kind of criticize it in general. Like nothing happens in the Tarkin book. Like throughout the course of the Tarkin book, stuff happens to Tarkin and Vader that gets reworked out by them after the book ends. Like the book starts, Tarkin loses his ship, and by the end of the book, he gets his ship back. Great. Or they lose the sight of this fucking band of rebels, and then by the end of the book, they kill them, and then after the book happens, the timeline puts them in that they're in the same situation once again. Like it's nothing actually matters in that book. It's just a setup for It's just a setup for like Tarkin's mentality, which I understand, but at the same point, if there were some actual consequences involved, that would be nice. So, having said that, like I'm torn on the Thrawn thing where he is already legit and we don't know his backstory, but what he's doing in the book is actually going to affect what happens to him in the future of canon in Star Wars.
I agree completely. Yeah, it's just I have been. The Disney canon books have been very lackluster for me. I've not been a fan of most of them, and I think I've only read 2. I think this is my 3rd. It could be less than that. I don't even fucking remember. Yeah, I've just not been impressed. I feel like it's money grabbing. It's not actually like adding to the story. It's not building characters. It's just like, all right, this is Thrawn. Yeah, we already know that. All right, well, yeah, but this is how he like boards the ship and becomes Imperial. Oh, that's interesting. How does he do that? Because he's Thrawn.
Doesn't matter. He's awesome.
He's blue. You remember that?
So I don't know.
It's just we'll see. And I got this the Luke book, which I've heard other people getting triggered about. So I'm excited to dive into that.
No, you're not.
I can't wait to shit.
Just look at the cover.
Yeah. We'll see. It looks like it was written by a fucking 8-year-old. So the letters are like this big. So there's like 3 letters per page. I should fly through it.
3 letters per page. The entire book's just 1 sentence. I was going to Datashi Station to get some power converters.
That's all it is.
That's it.
Wah! All right, moving on.
Oh yeah,
Stranger Things. We're probably gonna spend a little bit on Stranger Things here.
Yeah, man.
So what were your initial thoughts? And you can break it up maybe into season 1, season 2, or all together.
Well, yeah, you guys have been shouting at me about this shit for a while now. So I apologize that it took so long to watch it. You know, just, I don't know. There's a lot of things on the docket. A lot of things on the list, on the Netflix queue, man. There's so many shows. I liked it. The fact that it opened with, obviously not the very opening scene, but it pretty much opened with the kids playing Dungeons and Dragons. I thought was awesome. Set everything up. And they were like kind of relating all the experiences that they're going through to the D&D game, which is awesome. I liked the setting. I had this weird picture in my head of what it was going to be, and it didn't turn out to be like that at all. So I thought, for whatever reason, I just maybe made this up by how it was structured. I thought it was going to be like an American Horror Story type of thing, where you have this group of kids and the sheriff and like the older siblings in this town, and some new weird thing happens to them every season. So the first season was 11 rips this hole in the fucking time space, whatever it was. This monster gets loose, and they have to fix that. And then season 2 comes around, and I was like waiting for something completely different to happen. But then they go back to, just they're expanding more on that same story. Same gate, the same monster. It's a
continuous story.
Yeah, which I understand, but that's just wasn't what was in my head at all for some reason. I was just waiting for like new things to keep happening. I didn't think they were going to expand as much on the on the lab and the monster and the upside down as they were. So I just had some like preconceptions, but I love the show itself for sure.
I liked it because they stayed really true to like the retro aspect of it. And it's not even retro in the sense that it happens in the 80s. It's retro also in the sense that like it's your standard 80s horror. Like the way even like the intro of it has like a weird 80s intro feel. And they stayed just really true to it. Itself, I like the character building's great. You get to see a little bit of everything, including the parents, the older brothers and sisters, and then the kids themselves. So there's a lot of relationships that are going on. Not like relationships, but there's a lot of back and forth. Yeah, relationships that are going on between the kids and the older brothers and sisters and the parents. And it's cool to see like their dynamics build and change. And I thought they did it very well. I mean, it was a very smooth build.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at the core of stuff like this is the characters. And I had almost no complaints about that at all. The kids were awesome. Their older siblings were great. The fact that they don't always like join forces and figure shit out, I thought was cool. Like the older siblings are off partying and figuring out shit on their own about what their younger brothers and sisters or whatever are doing off on their own. And like they're all kind of like experiencing the same thing in different spots. I thought it was cool that they didn't like join forces randomly. I loved the sheriff, Hopper.
Yeah.
He was awesome. He started off like this drunk nobody that you thought wasn't really going to amount to much. And then as things got more serious, he kind of like came to his own.
He remains a drunk nobody.
Drunk nobodies, man. They're the fucking heroes. You gotta
I like them.
But he comes to and realizes something serious has happened in his small town. And he steps up. It was cool. But yeah, the characters like are really the core of it, which is the way it's supposed to be, man. Like if you think of Star Wars, especially the original ones, like the characters definitely are the core. So all my complaints rest with parts of the story or parts of, I don't know, just like the way that they bridged the gap between seasons 1 and 2 and expanded upon things to make season 2. But I also would say, Dane said this on our call, and Tommy Boy told me this too in person. If I had waited the year to watch season 2, I think it would have been a lot different. Because I just watched everything back to back.
Yeah.
So I waited a few hours. So if I had like a full year build up of like, I love Stranger Things. I'm so excited for it to come back. What's going to happen? I'm going to analyze the plot, just like we do with Star Wars. Like if episode 7, 8, 9 came out right in a row, wouldn't be nearly as impactful. So I think that's probably where a lot of it is.
You just didn't like the second one as much?
I didn't like it as much, but I didn't dislike it. Definitely not. I didn't dislike it. I was still like intrigued by it the whole time. I
didn't like it as much either, so that's fine. I was just kind of wondering.
Yeah, I think I was just disappointed that they decided to go more in depth with the same thing. And I felt kind of that it was weird that just everything is happening to Will. Like any weird thing in this town that gets the kids involved, all the bad shit's happening to Will over and over again. He gets captured, then he comes back, now he's possessed. It's some exorcist shit by the end of the season. So I was expecting something different.
The one thing I did like from season 2 was, I think his name was Bob. Bob?
Oh, yeah.
The
Samwise Gamgee.
Radio Shack guy?
Yeah.
Samwise, yeah. I actually liked his character. I actually was fannerizing about like him and assuming that I thought he was kind of part of the scientist government group. I thought he, because of Will. So I thought he was like going undercover and like saying, oh, I'll just date his mom or something and kind of keep an eye on Will. But obviously that didn't end up happening. But that was kind of my theories as I was watching through the season.
Interesting.
I do have like
Bob
one of the
Gullet.
Jesus, I don't even know what I'm trying to do. This space punch is hitting me right in the fucking gullet.
Caffeine right in the face.
So Dustin from Stranger Things, his character Dustin.
Yeah.
The actor, I think his name's Gayton Matarazzo, but he's the one with he's got like the mouth birth defect. The goofy looking kid. He's awesome. But I did see something that was shared today that he's actually donating like a lot of money for other people that have the same rare birth defect.
Oh, nice.
I thought that was fucking amazing for someone that's like 15 years old. And he just got his first big gig and he's already given half of his shit away saying, hey, people help it out.
Help it out. That's awesome, man.
So
those kids are fucking sweet.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen them on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon or with, I think they're on Conan, they're hilarious. All of them get together and just kind of rant and rave about each other, and it's fucking hilarious. Like when 11 first kissed Mike, the actors got together and they were talking about it. It was fucking hilarious. It was funny.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah. I love the kids, dude. They're so sweet. They're fucking awesome. It's exactly what you would expect. And we were raving about it a few months ago, a few weeks ago, actually. Whatever.
What were we raving about?
It.
What?
It.
Shit.
And how it's the same kind of thing. So, It, Stand By Me, Stranger Things.
Yeah, coming of age tale.
Coming of age stuff when you have kids acting like actual kids. Super actual jackasses.
You know what's weird is Stranger Things made me want to watch E.T.
I've never seen E.T.
Why am I even a part of the show?
On my list of classic things I've never seen, it's E.T., Godfather, bunch of things. That's all I can think of.
I bought The Godfather. I bought them on Blu-ray. It was like $25 for all three of them.
Yeah.
That's a solid. Those are solid movies. And then I don't even know what's left that I haven't seen. I'm sure there's a list that I should be putting together, but like at one point I hadn't seen like any of the Matrix movies, the Godfather movies.
Oh yeah.
And there were several huge ones that I hadn't seen, and
yeah.
So Stranger Things, getting back to it.
Yeah, E.T.'s on my list for sure.
Like if you have to give a rating, what would it be? Out of 107.
Out of 107? No. I think off of our beer rating, they're both 3 stars for sure. Gotta watch it. Gotta get the fuck up and watch it. A more critical out of 10 rating, I would say season 1's like 9, season 2's like 8.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm at.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that hinges on, like I said, I watched them back to back. Like the anticipation really helps a lot.
You know what I actually really liked about the show, especially the first season, is that they didn't know everything. Nothing was spoon-fed to them. And the fact that like this whole other universe that exists, they're just calling it the Upside Down because that's what the kid called it.
Right.
One of the kids called it.
Right.
And the fact that that's how we know it now.
Right.
It's awesome. It doesn't have this fucking huge technical term about what it is and how it works and all this shit. They're just like, it's upside down. It's like this, but there's a bunch of fucking flakes in the air and it's fucking scary upside down.
Yeah. I think the weirdest part about season 2 for me was that all the bad shit was coming from this lab. And then now, just because the main doctor was gone, now Hopper and the kids were like working with the lab in season 2. Like they're taking Will to see the doctor in the lab to talk about his PTSD and things like that. And like they're actively, like they're on the same side all of a sudden. Which, I mean, I guess, like I said, maybe it's just the fucking wait between season 1 and 2. But I just felt strange. Like everything was happening from that spot. And now just because that one dude is dead, like they were trying to fucking kill the kids. And now just because the main Papa, whatever his name is gone, they're going to, work side by side with the people in the lab to make sure Elle is safe and move forward. I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
Well, I felt like the first season they were trying to keep it under wraps. And the fact that 11 got out, they were like, they didn't want people to know.
Yeah.
And now, like, they all have a common enemy because there's fucking demigorgons and a bunch of shit running around. They're like, well, we might as well work together because fuck, that thing's going to come over here and suck the dick off of me.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
It's never good. Yeah, I want it back.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
I thought they did an okay job, like expanding the universe into, it's not just one demigorgon now. There's a bunch of like small little dog demigorgons, and there is a larger universe to this with the fucking smoke monster or whatever the fuck you want, a tornado bitch, whatever it is. But there is a point where I would like some explanation, I feel.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like a cold hard explanation where a fucking doctor walks in, he's like, I've seen this before, this is what it is.
But it's like the shadow monster. Yes. 1,100 hit points.
1,100 hit points. Hit him in the knee. He has bad knees. But so it's like we're through 2 seasons. We have no fucking clue what is happening. And the other thing is, I felt like the lights and the electronic stuff was way more prominent in the first one.
Yeah.
Because they were using the technology and using the lights with the Will talking to everybody using the lights.
Yeah.
Like that it was a weird connection and it made sense. And then they didn't really touch on it at all in the second season.
Yeah.
Georgie. We'll just go back to Georgie.
Yeah, Pennywise didn't show up at all. I'm pissed.
I didn't like it at all. Vader didn't choke anyone. I didn't.
Yeah. The only complaints I have are just as someone who's talking about it on a podcast and feels like I have to throw up a few complaints. Just so I'm not always just like, oh, I love everything. It's so fun.
Yeah. The music was good. The actors were great. The characters were great. The actors were awesome for having 4 or 5 actors under 15
Actors
and for how well they did.
Yeah, were fantastic.
Dude, if any one of them was chosen for child Anakin, episode 1 would have fucking killed it.
Yeah, what the hell? Where were those fucking people 20 years ago?
What the hell?
What the hell?
All right. I would out of 10, I would actually give it the same. The first season was probably a 9, second season was an 8. What about, and this is obviously a large spoiler, that one episode where she goes fucking punker and goes into downtown Chicago and fucking hangs out with a bunch of jackasses, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything, and then they get in some trouble and she's like, I can't handle this, and runs back in her fucking mascara jackassy hair.
Looking like the goddamn Joker.
Yeah.
It has a little bit to do with a little bit. What I thought
No, it doesn't.
What I thought of this episode is like she can't get what she is looking for from Hopper and her friends. So she leaves. And like she discovers, especially if somebody was number 8 who went through the exact same thing as she did. Like she wants to go learn, how did she escape? What did she picked up along the way? How does she regulate herself back to normal life? Things like that. That makes sense. That's a pretty important step in Eleven's life. like finding somebody else that was just like her and managed to get out and now is like living by herself with friends and doing things, has a purpose. Like that's a pretty important situation. So what I thought was like there could almost be a whole season where the kids in the town are dealing with something and 11 is off by herself with this group and is getting to know her, I guess you could say sister for lack of a better term, and just learning more about her powers and about herself and about the history of the lab and things like that. Like that could almost be a half of a season or a full season of information right there. So to squeeze that just into one episode was awful. And then she comes back and just can fucking do everything. She turns into Darth Vader while she's there when she's choking that guy and like dragging him across the floor. She pulled a goddamn Anakin for a second. Just didn't know where the power came from. And all of a sudden she knows what's up. And then she came back and, defeated everything and ripped a fucking hole in this space-time continuum. I don't know. I understood the purpose of why the episode was there. I just thought it was definitely more information than should have been squeezed into one single episode.
Well, and they also teased it at the very first episode. They show 8 rambling around, and then you don't see her till like episode 10. And you're like, well, I thought they could have done better with that. I understand that they're kind of slowly growing the universe where it's not just 11. There's 8 and 7 and 14 coming running around too. So and they all have different powers. Yeah. It's kind of like some X-Men shit where exactly X-23 is running around and a bunch of shit.
That's exactly what I thought.
That's kind of no. I thought about it first though. Okay. So. Yeah, I mean, overall, obviously, great show. I'm excited for fucking season 3 already.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I don't know. I want to know their creative process. Like, did they plan out season 2 and the storyline beforehand, or were they like riding off the success of season 1 and then they came up with it afterwards?
I think it was afterwards. I watched one episode of Beyond Stranger Things. Yeah. And it's the 2 brothers that are directors and writers of it. So I think they kind of wrote it after the fact. Moving on to some fucking Star Wars shit.
Which is not the worst thing ever. But yeah, overall, Stranger Things is great. Watch it. Now.
Battlefront 2.
But I don't want to fucking talk about it. I'm so angry.
Oh shit! So is it the full game? Are you playing the full game?
Yes. So anyone that has EA access is the entire full game. You get to play for 10 total hours up until Tuesday when it comes out officially. So I haven't touched the campaign at all. I wanted to wait because actually I know I just said it was a full game, but I heard from somebody that the campaign stops at a certain point with the trial. So basically, if you have EA access, you download this trial version of the game and you play it. But multiplayer-wise, it's the full game. But somebody said that the campaign actually stops at a certain point. So I didn't do the campaign at all. I've been playing multiplayer, been getting triggered, hammered, pissed about the whole thing. I don't know. Every time I want to talk about Battlefront, I feel like the exact people that we complain about when it comes to just the Star Wars trilogy in general. About the prequels or about people that are pissed about episode 7. So I don't want to say anything. Yeah. But I can't not say anything because I love Star Wars so much. So why'd you fuck up my game, man? They watered it down, man. They watered it down. That's what upsets me the most. As a fan of Star Wars, as a fan of Battlefront, Battlefield, that's what I meant to say, and things that DICE has done and how competitive the Battlefield games have been. It just feels like they dumbed the game down. Like they're treating me like I don't know what the fuck Star Wars is, or I don't know what a competitive multiplayer shooter is. Like God, I'm just so Talk for a second. I'm just so pissed.
Talk for a second. I haven't played. The only thing I've played so far was the beta, and I didn't hate it, but it definitely still does feel dumbed down. On a pendulum from Battlefield 4 to Battlefront, the remake, it's way closer to Battlefront, the remake, than a Battlefield 4.
Yes.
It's a lot more closed in. It's limiting, and there's no squads. There's no team play. It's a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's a slower Call of Duty.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is. And I know that you played a lot of Starfighter mode in the beta. So I will say the Starfighter Assault mode is pretty great. It's really fluid. It doesn't have the same issues that the multiplayer has. It also, unfortunately, doesn't have as objective based of gameplay as like the original Battlefront 2 had, where you could actually spawn in a command ship, get in the starfighter of your choice, fly into another command ship, get out, fuck things up like inside the hangar bay and stuff like that. Like none of that is there. But the starfighter,
it's limited to just flying. Yeah.
But the starfighter mode in general, it's good.
It's a lot easier to kill things than I ever expected. They made it a lot more fluid and well, I mean, and that might even be a complaint against like people like us, where they did kind of, I felt like they maybe dumbed it down and or just made it more accessible to the everyday, because flying shit is hard.
It was
in
tough.
Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
So, and it remains hard. If you're really good at it, you're basically unstoppable.
Right.
So I felt like dumbing down that aspect in the fighter assault was fine because everybody struggles with it.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree with that. That's one saving grace of the game. It's smooth, it's good. The find doesn't feel impossible like it did in the last one. Or like I feel in a goddamn chopper in Battlefield 4. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But this one in the TIE fighters and things, yeah. It's good. The thing that is driving me the most nuts, as much as they promoted class-based gameplay, you don't upgrade your classes by playing the game as your class. It doesn't make any sense. So if you spend hours and hours playing Assault only, and you're trying to get more abilities and level up your Assault class, nothing happens at all. You get credits when you play the game, you open loot crates with the credits, and you get randomized stuff. So that could be for...
The crates aren't specified into classes?
So you have Trooper, which is like almost everything. And then you have Starfighter and you have Hero, which are obviously more specified to Starfighter or Hero, but not specifically just to Starfighter or Hero. So if I open a Trooper crate, I may get one thing for a ship, one thing for a hero, and 3 things for my normal soldier classes. But if I'm playing as engineer the entire time, officer the entire time, I'm going to open crates and I'm just going to get a shit ton of things for the heavy class, which I'm never going to use because that's not what I play as. So to get more abilities and to unlock, all the extra shit for your class, you literally have to open the crates and it's randomized.
Let me just put this into perspective.
That's like playing
Skyrim as a mage, and it constantly levels you up on heavy armor.
Yes.
Like you're using destruction, running around killing things. It's just like, good job. Your sneak's better.
Yes.
What the fuck is happening right now?
Now, they did, so it's not as bad as normal EA games. So first of all the DLC is free. That's one thing that's nice. They actually announced a few days ago the first season pack that's going to come out. It's called The Last Jedi Pack, obviously. Players get to pick between the First Order or the Resistance. Everybody's going to get new maps. They get Phasma and Finn. And like all the players pick a side, and whoever wins gets a bunch of extra shit for that side. So if like everybody picks the First Order and they win, Phasma gets extra bonus packs and loot crates and all that kind of fun stuff. So the DLC is free. The loot crates you don't have to pay for because you get credits when you play the game. The annoying part is just like I said, that it's just randomized. Like the fact, so when you play a class, Assault, shooting with the assault rifle, you do You use that to get kills, rack those up, and unlock the new assault rifle. And that's pretty much the only thing that you can unlock. The fact that the loot crates are randomized just makes no sense at all. And it's randomized for the heroes too. I've got so many upgrades for fucking Darth Maul that I'm never going to use. Dude, come on. Just doesn't make any sense, man. If you could at least like sell them or like scrap them to trade them in for extra credits and then buy another crate or something like that. I just don't understand the point of it.
Yeah. I'm really hoping the campaign holds this whole game together because obviously they didn't do a campaign in the first one. So I'm hoping this is its saving grace. I still, even in the beta, like we were talking about, the Starfighter Assault's by far my favorite part of it.
Yeah.
And that was actually one part where I felt like I had an edge on people where, I could get better and better and actually start like dominating in that. In the normal, like regular trooper assault stuff, I felt like it was random. Like I would just it's such an enclosed.
It's very random.
Maps.
Yeah.
That like everybody has to fight through that door. Well, okay, this sucks because everybody's just gonna die, and there's no planning behind it. It's all timing. You just run in or you don't. Are they all dead? Or throw a grenade? Or run in or you dead? What the fuck? It's like, but even in like Battlefield 4 in Locker, where it's just a straight, you still have like two ways you can go in through the building and then outdoor where you can go through. So you still have like ways to around shit. I felt like this game was so closed in. The maps were, and you can talk more about the maps because I've only been on a handful.
The maps are not as bad. We were getting overly sick of the fucking Theed map and the Takodana map from the beta because that was only two things that were in there. So the maps are pretty good. There's a few that are just like feel random and terrible. Like the Jakku map is like half inside a broken down Star Destroyer, which sounds kind of cool. And the entire map is like slanted on an angle because you're like playing on the Star Destroyer, which is crashed into the ground, which sounds kind of cool. But the way that it's laid out is just random and just weird, just fucking dumb.
So the whole time you're fighting, you're like turned?
Kind of like the map.
Like you're fighting, like you're drunk fighting?
Kind of feels like a drunk shooting. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
That's pretty much what it feels like.
Perfect. I enjoy the game thoroughly.
The maps are better. I will say in multiple Starfighter assault modes, I haven't gotten into a Clone Wars era Starfighter assault at all. So I haven't been able to be the ARC 170 and that shit yet. So I'm sure they're there. I just haven't landed in one.
It's can you filter out?
No.
Can you request?
Nope. You go to multiplayer. There's 5 game modes: Galactic Assault, Starfighter Assault, Blast, Strike, and Heroes versus Villains. You just click one. You have no control. It's just jumps you into something.
God damn it, guys! Why?
Can't pick.
Like you can pick even in the original. Can't you?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, you get to pick at least light or dark.
Wait, the original, like 0305?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to pick what map you're going to go on. And then when you get there, you get to pick what side you're on. Yeah.
No.
Then you get to pick your class. And
That's
then
ridiculous.
you get to pick your spawn point. Because why the fuck would you make a war game without conquest? That's like the best mode in all of these shooters.
That's atrocious. That's atrocious.
That
That's
was
the
like
key of the game.
The cornerstone of the first 2 Battlefront games was the conquest mode. What are you doing, man? No conquest mode? Are you serious with me right now? There's only 5. Like maybe they'll add more with DLC, but like conquest mode.
That's a given. That should be the first mode you make. Wow. So mad. All right, guys, we're gonna move on.
It's just unfortunate, man. Like I said, it's a fun game. It's beautiful. It isn't the worst thing I've ever played. it just feels like for actual gamers, and I'm not even an actual gamer. I'm not even that good at it. I just love Battlefield and like very competitive stuff. For actual gamers, it just feels watered down. It feels like you think I'm stupid. You think I'm dumb, but that I can't fucking figure out a game. That's what it feels like. Also, another issue, it's like canonical and how I feel about Star Wars. The heroes are all available. So when you play Galactic Assault on Hoth, you can spawn as Yoda, Kylo Ren, Lando, Han, Rey, people that weren't even fucking born at the Battle of Hoth. Which
I don't mind that. I don't mind it at all.
I was gonna say, some people think that's cool because you can be, some crazy battles like Kylo Ren versus Yoda. That'd be cool to see. Let's do it on the game. I disagree. I want to see multiple heroes for every era, so that when I'm in Hoth, I have options. Because the problem is that the only prequel characters that we have is Yoda and Darth Maul. That's fucking it. That's it. Yoda and Darth Maul. And the first DLC pack is going to be Finn and Phasma, which is episode 8 characters, 7 and 8. So like when you're on Naboo or Kamino, you get to be Kylo Ren or Han or Lando or Leia.
I don't mind it at all. You can do that same thing in all the other games, can't you? I guess it is specific on the second one.
No, only in the assault mode, which I get. You can be all the heroes fighting all the heroes. But like when you're on Mustafar, it's Anakin and Obi-Wan. That's it.
Maul and it depends on the era, but
yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So overall, and this is obviously the game actually comes out Tuesday. So I have a suspicion that once we can actually play as like a party, it would probably make a big difference because you can't spawn as a squad, but at least we can like partially coordinate what's happening, like link up with each other and capture particular points. But yeah, initial consensus is it's fun. It just feels like it's the only Star Wars game that we're going to get. And EA, it's just fucking people in the ass because they know they can.
I wonder if they're not trolling us, and as soon as it gets officially released, like it's gonna have conquest mode, like added into the game.
I can't imagine that they would add. First of all, that they would add an entire game mode within 3 weeks after the beta came out, and that's the
cornerstone of the whole fucking game, though.
It comes out on Tuesday. I guess we'll find out, but I doubt it. I fucking doubt it, man.
All right, moving on to better and more interesting shit. Obviously, there was a large hype around Rian Johnson, and he is going to be getting his own Star Wars trilogy, which is huge.
Let me repeat that for you. Star Wars announced they are giving Rian Johnson an entire trilogy.
This is two things, though.
Entire trilogy of movies.
I have a feeling that some execs or whatever, they watched episode 8, like a rough take of it, and were like, holy shit.
Let this guy do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, just hand the reins over. Like, what does he want? 3 movies? I'm surprised he didn't ask for 10.
A whole
Give
franchise?
him the fucking 3 movies.
Give it to him.
Give it to him. Write it.
I would say, so this is some of the biggest news that we've had in Star Wars, because how particular that Star Wars has been, Disney or Lucasfilm, however you want to look at it, as particular as they've been about their saga, as many people as Kathleen Kennedy has fired, the fact that they're giving some director 3 movies, that's huge, man. That's like the biggest since 2012 when Disney bought Star Wars. This is the biggest news that we've had. Holy shit, man.
2012 was when Disney bought Star Wars?
Holy shit. Yes.
I did not realize that.
Yep. 2012, they bought it, and then 2015, first movie came out.
And when did we start this podcast? 14?
Leading up to The Force Awakens. We had no idea.
Wow. Yeah. I was remembering that because I was talking about Battlefront 4, Jesus.
Battlefield 2.
and how we got into it. And it was like the first day you bought it, we were playing the campaign, and then we were laughing our asses off. We're like, hey, we should probably just record some shit. Oh, let's do it.
Make sure you get this game. We're gonna fucking play it every day. Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
Fucking
yeah. I mean,
Rian Johnson,
that's
man.
amazing. And that opens the door up for so much. And it was mentioned. I don't know what. Oh, it says new characters from a corner of the galaxy. A corner of the galaxy that Star Wars lore has never seen before.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to tackle here because the first important point is that it's not going to be part of the Skywalker saga. So if you consider the first 7 and eventually 9 episodes are all part of the Skywalker storyline of Star Wars, which is pretty much the main part of Star Wars that we've gotten. The fact that that they've approved it, they've given it to a new director, they've pretty much given him the helm of Star Wars for 3 movies, which is 6 to 8 years worth and billions of dollars. Jesus Christ, it's so crazy. I don't know what to think when they say an area of lore that we've never seen, because are they saying something that in the movies that we've never seen, or something like in all of Star Wars lore that we've never seen, that they're just going to make up something brand new, regardless of the timeline, new characters, new setting, new stuff, like all together, like, because it kind of opens itself up to Old Republic things.
Mm-hmm.
But it also kind of opens itself up to fuck all of the legends, and we're going to go completely brand new. No one's ever heard of this. It's 10,000 years before. Fuck that. We're doing everything. So I don't know. It's wide open, man.
I'm wondering if they don't just do something weird and talk about like the origin of the Force and how it was sparked. So we're not going to see Jedi. We're not going to see Sith. It'll just be a universe where people are living and some dramatic experience happens or something, and it sparks this whole new thing. I don't know. There's so much up in the air, and obviously it's a blank canvas that he can just do whatever the fuck he wants.
Open, yeah.
But as soon as he does something weird, they're just going to fire him, Ryan, and fire and hire
Ron Howard back in. Yeah. Commander Mopar directing Squad Pod.
All right, put Hemi Challengers in the background. We're going to have lightsabers over here.
Yeah. Put Hemis on all those land speeders, you bastards.
Yep. Pod Racer. Fuck that. Put a Hemi on it.
So as soon as this news came out, the majority of people that we talked to, stuff I saw on Twitter and stuff in the group chat that we have, was all Old Republic. As soon as we said, hey guys, Star Wars just announced they're giving Rian Johnson an entire trilogy, not Skywalker Saga. What do you think? Everyone said Old Republic. Non-stop Old Republic. Let's get a KOTOR movie. Let's get a Bane fucking trilogy movie in there. Let's talk about Revan. That's the overwhelming consensus of what I heard. And I'm on board with that. I'm on board with that. I just don't think they're going to do it. And if they do it, it's not going to be Revan. They're not going to bring Revan, which we've talked about multiple times, is a confusing ass canon character because, well, he's Legends now. But he started with a video game, so he could be light or dark side or male or female. So it's just a confusing character to try to put into a storyline. And I don't think that they're going to try to take something that was canon, is now Legends, make a movie version of it, because you can't appease everybody. And you can't consolidate all those storylines into one thing. So I just think it's kind of off limits for what they're going to do. Now, what I will say, along with the Old Republic type of era, an origin of the Jedi or the Sith, I think would be really fucking sweet to see. Something that's way ancient, 4, 6, 10,000 years or something before the trilogy that we've seen, the saga that we've seen, sorry. Like origin of the Jedi or something would be really fucking cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I would hate I would hate and love if they did anything Old Republic. The issue is the same thing you were just discussing, that there's no right way to do a Revan one. It's no matter what you do, even if it's perfect, it's bad because it's not what I fucking played in KOTOR.
Yeah.
the smallest little decision that you made on Revan's character, it's a girl. I always play as a guy. I fucking hate this. I'm not watching it. Blah blah blah. It's gonna be that sort of thing.
Right.
You gave him a blue lightsaber. I always play purple. Well, I fucking turn it off.
Exactly.
It's gonna be that stupid shit because of how the game was built and how you got to decide who Revan was.
Right.
That's an impossible character to even touch.
Yep.
The Bane might be something that could be worthy of it, and that would actually make Revan canon in a loose sense if they went that way.
Bane is something that I would love to see.
Yeah. That would I think would be worthy, and obviously there's already a loose trilogy built around it with 3 books. I just this is a very experimental time with Star Wars universe, and they're going in a lot of different directions all at the same time. And for a brand new trilogy, there's got to be a lot of substance there, and there's got to be a war. It's fucking called Star Wars for a reason. So I have a weird feeling that they're going to be introducing. Well, it could be like the Mandalorian Wars.
That'd be perfect. But again, we're in the Old Republic timeline of stuff that kind of has happened, but now it's legends. So how are you going to bring it back? Because if they don't have the right people, if they make the Mandalorian Wars and Candace is not in the fucking movie, I am rioting.
But they wouldn't. Why would they do that? They did fucking Jason Solo, and they didn't even call him Jason.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's not Jason Solo. It's Kylo Ren.
Ben. He's Ben Solo.
So that's what I mean, though. If they do that, they're going to change everything. So if they do Revan, it's not going to be Revan anymore. Or it's not going to be Candace anymore and stuff. So that's where...
Chandaris.
That's where it gets iffy.
Yeah. It's Blanderous.
That's where it gets chiffy. I don't know. I'm
excited. I think they're not going to fuck it up. They're going to create their own thing.
Guaranteed. Yes.
And they're going to go... I don't know how experimental Rian himself is, and we'll see when 8 comes out in a month.
According to Mark Hamill, he's pretty fucking experimental. It's like this dude wrote shit for Luke that I'd never thought of or considered, and I was pissed about when I read it first. But now I get it, and here we are, Last Jedi.
You also got to remember that Luke or Mark Hamill hasn't been involved since 1983.
That's true.
And Luke was for how a lot of people love Luke. He's a very one-aspected character: farm boy, jackass, a whiny voice, and we'll just go from there.
A good thing. Yeah,
space slug.
Yeah.
So I think Rian might have a vision. I wonder if they're going to bring other writers in, because that's a tall order to fill. So fucking trilogy.
They said it was. So let's just look up the actual, Star Wars Rian Johnson. Let's look up the actual article, and then we can know for sure. But it was along the lines of, so the same guy that is helping him with, like, I guess he has a partner, like kind of like the Lord Miller was that director team that was going to do the Han Solo movie, that is helping him with writing and everything. So let's see.
Maybe it's gonna be an alternate universe where Anakin does get his new empire, and it's just him. He doesn't get his legs cut off.
Mace does make him a master on the council, and everything just goes along calmly.
Could you
and
imagine
peacefully.
Yeah. What if that happened? I'm making that meme.
Everything
where it's
like
Emperor Palpatine thinks I should become master. Deal. That's fine. And it just says George Lucas right at the end.
It was great. Fuck. I can't find it. Sorry.
I'm a seat.
I'm pretty sure. Have a seat, young Skywalker. I'm pretty sure that he has somebody that helps him with his movies. Like he's a loose partnership or something like that. That's helping him with The Last Jedi too. So I just couldn't find it. I didn't want to spend an hour and a half on Google. So it is what it is. I am very excited. This makes me even more excited for episode 8. like I said when we started this conversation, the fact that they have fired a shit ton of people and then turn around and gave Rian Johnson his own trilogy. Here's Star Wars for 6 years. Do what you want. Like, that's pretty fucking intense. So I'm excited for whatever they do. I think it's going to be good. Disney's not going to put out a bad movie. I have faith. And yeah, I'm balls deep. As Kerner said, there's no other way to put it. Balls deep.
So I'm reading through. I didn't realize they did so many firings. So it says director Josh Trank was originally signed to make a standalone Star Wars movie before being fired in the wake of concerns with his performance on Fox's Fantastic Four.
I never even heard that name before.
Yeah, I never heard that before either. And then we obviously know Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who were doing the standalone Han Solo film, have been fired. And then there was something else here that, Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah, that was for episode 9.
Yeah, so we've had technically four firings over 3 movies, all directors, and they're in. It's not in JJ we trust anymore.
No,
even though they gave the reins to 9 to JJ, Rian Johnson is making more Star Wars movies than anyone.
Almost
4.
Well, I mean, Lucas made 6. Wow.
Lucas made 4.
He directed 4. He made 6.
He's a jackass.
Maybe. But he made them all. He made them all in the meantime.
It's true. It's true.
We're going to fire 4 people and give this one dude 3 movies. Get the fuck out, dude.
How many times are they going to fire him?
He's
every movie he's just going to get fired. I know we gave you episode. What are they going to call him? They can't be. They're not going to be episodes.
Good question.
Are they gonna call it the Skywalker saga, and then this will be like episode 1 of a Old Republic saga?
So I was actually listening to Tumbling Sabers. So Commonwealth friends, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
100 episodes. Congratulations, mofos. They were talking about moving forward, and this was actually before the news with Rian Johnson and his trilogy even came out. But they were talking about the future of Star Wars past the 7, 8, 9, and just kind of it'll be like James Bond. Like, these are just new movies with a name. We all know it's Star Wars. Maybe we can finally drop the Star Wars story thing, because that would be great, because I fucking hate that thing. Like, if the movie was just called Rogue One. If it was just Rogue One in general, you know what I mean? And people know that it's Star Wars. If you don't, as you watch it, you'll figure it out. Just like James Bond movies, it just is what it is. So once we get past this whole saga, whether they go to 9 movies or to 12, we can just drop that, please. I hope.
Yeah,
that's my hope.
Yeah. I hope they're not using a template. I hope they don't use a template. I want them to be like, okay,
brand fucking new.
We know how the universe works.
Yes.
We don't need a fucking farm boy. There doesn't have to be sand.
Yes,
there doesn't have to be a fucking crazy old wizard.
Desert planet, please.
They could get really creative which they've started doing, and you even see that even more so in the episode 8 trailers.
Dude,
the planets have gotten pretty weird and pretty crazy. Oh, so on the planet thing.
Yeah.
Off of the planet thing.
Tell me about it.
So I recently saw a post on Instagram, and I hate myself. I think it was Star Wars Greats on Instagram. Someone who we follow posted something about a comic series that looks at Jeddah, I believe, after they fired upon it.
Oh shit!
Like the obviously they didn't blow up the planet, but they show a picture of it. Maybe we can find it here.
The moon.
Maybe it wasn't Jeddah. What's the other one?
What? Scarif?
Scarif. No, it was Jeddah. Jeddah planet.
With the the Jedi temple and the shit. Glass armor's in the background. I see it.
Pissed. Let's see here.
Show me.
I'm not going to be able to find it. Let me search here.
Any background on Jeddah would be awesome.
Yeah, they showed it like kind of after the fact. I hate myself that I can't find it. Star Wars grades here.
Mopar's pissed.
Try to show you this picture.
Yeah, do it. Share your screen, motherfucker.
Do it.
It's not this one.
I would love some background on Chirrut and Baze in general, though. I know there's a young adult thing about them, but something on screen or a comic or something about them would be awesome. Because it seems like Chirrut is way more invested in the ways of the Jedi than we kind of think or consider. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna find it. Whatever.
Mopar's pissed.
It was. I am kind of fucking triggered. Happy. Maybe it was here. Star Wars gang. And no, whatever. It was. It was like a third of the entire planet was like. A chunk of it was taking off the planet, and you could see the core of the planet, but the rest of the planet was still intact.
Shit.
It was a pretty intense picture. That's why I kind of wanted to show you guys a visual of it. I'm a jackass.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, when I came across it, I was like, "What the fuck planet is that supposed to be?" And it was Jeddah. So the planet still exists. So you got to think about that. This could be brought up still. That the Jedi were from this, and the planet still exists. I guess part of it might still be livable.
Yeah.
And it might be feasible for someone to still visit there and grab unknown Jedi shit. So we'll see. I thought that was interesting. Man. That it was from a comic that just came out, or
Sweeney's saying Star Wars comic 38 Ashes of Jeddah.
Yeah.
But I looked that up. I didn't see shit about it. Ashes of Jeddah. The first thing that comes up with the fucking Porg. Second thing that comes up is goddamn Assassin's Creed. What is happening?
How do you spell Jeddah?
Great. Sorry. Jedha.
Only one D?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
It keeps trying to...
Tell Google to fuck off, man.
Okay.
It's okay. If you can't find it, I forgive you. We'll just
I can't find it.
Talk about it next time.
It's
okay.
Star Wars.
Don't worry about it. In general, though, the long and short of it is that we're fucking geeked. I actually, for the first time in a long time about Star Wars, I haven't heard a bunch of bullshit complaints. I haven't heard any nonsense about this. I haven't heard any trolls or just blatant negativity about this news. Maybe
about
I just
Rian
missed
Johnson?
it.
Yeah.
I think I've been gradually muting as many things on Twitter as possible. So maybe I just missed it. But for once, I've seen all positive Star Wars news, which is great. Because you got to think, like I said, I just feel like I'm repeating myself. But when you fire 47,000 people and then you give the director of a movie that hasn't even come out yet an entire trilogy, yeah. Is happening. Riley says I'm about to. I'm about to what? Tell me. Are you pissed?
I found a picture here. I don't know how it's going to look.
Picture.
So you can see like I'm trying to be like less up.
Oh, there we go. Damn.
So that's Jeddah now. Yeah, you could see like maybe just 50% of it's still maybe feasible that it's like you can still live in it.
Yeah.
But there's like a whole chunk of the fucking planet missing.
Damn, that's fucking crazy, dude. Dude, those Death Star shots on Rogue One were some of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, they were. Yes, I agree.
That was some of the most visually stunning awesomeness I've ever seen. I think that Episode 8 is going to be one of the best movies of all time and one of the best looking movies of all time.
I agree.
No,
Ashes of Jeddah.
No, you don't. Fucking.
Ashes of Jeddah. Awesome, guys. I don't know why. That vitamin fucking space piss put me to sleep.
Budweiser's make me want to die. So.
Do it.
That's exactly
all right,
what
guys.
happened.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll probably be diving into more next trilogy news as the stuff comes out over probably the spans of the spans of the next month or so. We'll see how this.
We also have Justice League is coming out, so we have to definitely be chatting about that next episode. It'll be coming out this week, so super geeked about that. I know Mopar is a giant DC fan.
I like DC.
So I'm getting geeked about that, man. And then I still haven't gotten onto Assassin's Creed Origins. I've been so pissed at Battlefront that consumed my mind. And I had to rant about that. But we're going to have to talk about a little bit about Assassin's Creed next week, too.
Yeah. On low-key, I started another Skyrim character, and there's shit in there that I've never seen before. Never.
Say it.
I can
in honor of 11/11, which was yesterday, 6th anniversary of Skyrim. Say it. Mud crab meat shit.
Mud crab legs. You can eat them. There's also, you can mine clay. I didn't know that ever.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it seems like they went through an update.
Yeah, that's got to be some new shit. You can mine clay for what? Make pots and shit out of it? What are you talking about?
It's used to make like small buildings and shit.
Small dildos and shit. Damn.
Dildos.
I missed out on all that.
But there was like new ingredients and shit that you could pick up. I was walking around. I was like, I've never seen this bush before. I've been past this 100 times with different characters. I've never seen this bush before.
That must be new.
And then Glass Armor was playing like stuff that I had never even heard about. Like most of the stuff I've at least like, I've heard of that mission. I've never done it. It was stuff that there was like, there's islands all over the fucking place. And I'm fighting these lava brick guys. They come from the ground and they have the cracked skin like
the thing
Scion,
from
Dark Scion.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Something must have updated, or they added something recently because there's whole different. It's a whole different fun game.
That's some new shit, man.
Yeah, so I'm excited to like continue on because, I mean, for how good Skyrim is, it can be repetitive even for how big it is. But the fact that they're starting to like, I looked down. And I was like, why is there like light brown mud? I was in the snow. And I was like, what the fuck? I walked up to it, said mine clay. I was like, fuck yeah. And I literally took out my pickaxe and started mining clay.
Fuck, man. I got to play some Skyrim.
So, all right, guys, we're going to leave you with that. Episode 124. Thank you guys for tuning in. Head on over to Patreon and YouTube and click on shit and do something happens. And all right, guys.
And if you're local to Columbus, Central Ohio, anywhere in Ohio, we're getting together. Party, event, awesomeness for The Last Jedi in December. It's going to be at World of Beer in the Gateway area here in Columbus on High Street. Giving away a fan poster, raffles for awesome prizes. Glass Armor is going to be in... No, just fucking around. But we're going to be giving away some awesome stuff. We're brewing a beer with Land Grant. You can try that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're just going to party before and after Last Jedi. So come and join us if you are local. Just head to our Facebook page and you can see the event. All the details are on there.
Thank you guys for tuning in. This was your Rogue Squadron podcast. Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing right now?
Ending the show. I squeaked.
I couldn't think of... all right, now we're actually officially ending. You sounded like something. I couldn't think of what the fuck it was. Oh, Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. And in the show, I just...
Ever here.
Just couldn't come up with it. We can talk next time also. The wife is now obsessed with Shameless.
Oh, yeah. I'm on the most recent season now.
Vagina deep into that.
That's a ridiculous show.
It's good, yeah. I had seen the first few episodes, but then she wanted to watch it. We started over, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's a nonstop ridiculous show. All right, man. I don't know why I just got so tired.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. So, all right, mofos.
Vitamins. All right, guys.
Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. We also
naked shirts.
Fuck around.